morning, Wentworth. Is this your first time in Guangzhou?
Yes, it is.
When did you get here?
Just yesterday afternoon.
Have you ever tried some Guangzhou local cuisine, dim sum, yet?
I had an excellent dinner last night of dim sum in my hotel. I hear that this city is famous for its cuisine, and I was not disappointed.
And which dishes do you like best?
The steamed dumplings, fried wonton, and I think it's green beans and bacon.
Wow. You had a delicious dishes. And actually, now, to cars. How many cars do you have?
I only have one person, one car, and that's what makes sense to me.
Wow. That's very economical. And do you remember what does your first car look like?
It was a white Chevy Blazer, 1987. It wasn't my car. It was a friend's car, and that's the car that I learned to drive on.
So you borrowed it?
That's right.
Wow. And what kind of car do you prefer when you decide to go for a drive?
A car with good gas mileage. I think it's important to be environmentally conscious.
Any like color, size?
You know, I like a car with some room in the back in case you find an interesting piece of artwork that maybe you want to take home. I think it's also important that your car be able to handle different terrains, city driving, country driving. So I like something that's versatile.
And Chinese fans felt it was very sad when Michael died in the last episode of PB. And how actually did you feel when you were first told that Michael would not make it in the finale?
I thought it was very sad too, but I also thought it was appropriate. It would have been nice for Michael and Sarah to ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after. But at the same time, Michael had committed many crimes. A lot of people had died and suffered because of his actions. And I think him laying down his life for his loved ones was a way of making things right, making amends. So the ending wasn't necessarily fair, but it was appropriate.
It's appropriate. And do you prefer a happy ending also?
I would have liked my character to have had a happy ending, but I was very satisfied with the ending that the writers came up with. I think it was good drama, and I think it was well suited to the story we've been telling all along.
And do you keep in touch with other actors from PB? Like, who do you contact most, like Dominic Bussell and Robert Knapper?
You know, I've heard from a couple of people associated with the show, but they are like family, and we all definitely got along very well. But at the end of the show, there was a definite sense that we've been through something very challenging, something very intimate and intense, so now it's time to take a break, if you will, for each of us to start discovering our lives post the show. I'm sure there'll be a reunion at some point, but we're now all walking our separate roads.
And Robert plays a villain in Heroes this season. And do you watch the Heroes, and do you watch his acting?
I knew that he's participating in the show. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that he's brilliant, which is not a surprise because he's a brilliant actor.
And will you take a leading role again in a TV series after PB?
It depends. Prison Break, that was a pretty sizable commitment. There were 22 episodes every season. It took 10 months out of 12 to shoot. I think if I went back and did TV again, I might consider doing cable, which is usually a little bit shorter in terms of the season than network television, maybe 12, 13 episodes maximum. It's a lot less time-consuming and would allow me to do other projects as well.
Do you think it is difficult to surpass the role Michael Scofield?
Maybe, but I wouldn't even try because to play Michael Scofield, to have been a part of a show that's had such an impact, it's definitely one of, and will remain one of the highlights of my career. So I don't need to live Michael Scofield down. I'm happy if people always associate me with that role. It's an honor.
And do you keep an eye on the comments on you made by Chinese fans on the internet?
No, I don't. I consider that to be a personal, private conversation between whoever's making those comments and whoever's reading it. Yes, I'm aware that there's a whole conversation online about me, about other actors on the show, but it's not necessarily something that I pay too much attention to.
We are one of the top online media in China, and we did a research on American TV show among Chinese celebrities. Surprisingly, it turned out that half of 100 celebrities had chosen PB as their favorite. So, can you imagine that? And also, you are rated as the most influential TV star. So, do you have anything to say about that?
It's a tremendous honor and a surprise. Everyone who worked on Prison Break, myself included, knew that we were telling a story that was somehow reaching an international audience. And we had a lot of respect for our overseas fans, particularly in places like China. So it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a part of something like that, and I consider myself to be very fortunate.
And you plays Chris Redfield in Resident Evil Afterlife. And how did you get this role? Anything interesting that you can share with us?
Well, I can say that this role came my way because of my work on Prison Break. That there are two very different characters, Chris Redfield and Michael Scofield. But at the same time, I think Prison Break fans watching Chris Redfield in Resident Evil will see some echoes of my history on Prison Break. And I have to say that I'm very, very pleased and excited to be a part of something that's specifically female-driven, because we have Mila Jovovich playing the lead in Resident Evil. She's a strong, powerful female character. There are a lot of other strong, powerful female characters involved, and that's quite a nice change-up from something like Prison Break, which was so male-driven.
Last time you visited the Great Wall and the city, Beijing, and do you plan to visit other historical sites this time?
If we have time, the other day I was lucky enough to go up to the Peak in Hong Kong and got a great view of the city. And if we have time before I leave, I'd like to check out what other sites the cities might have to offer.